Salt Bae's lifestyle has once again put him on the headlines and on the front page of the internet, but for all the wrong reasons. What was once a beloved pop culture icon in the culinary world, Salt Bae's gold-encrusted empire has been crumbling down slowly over the past years, from restaurants being shut down to controversies that put him on the verge of being cancelled. In this video, we'll be answering the question on everyone's mind: where is Salt Bae now? And better yet, where is he headed? Early life. Before Salt Bae became a pop culture sensation, he was just a child living in a humble Turkish household. Nusret was just a child when he gripped his first butcher's knife, having to drop out of school just to help his family pay the bills. What was first an act of desperation delegated to him by his family was now suddenly a valid career path for Nusret, earning his butcher's apprenticeship at age 11 and eventually leading him down a culinary career path that he could have never imagined. Knowing he had what it takes to take his career to the next level, he began journeying to countries like Argentina and the United States, where he would offer his services for free to local restaurants, eventually earning a reputation, and with it, a paycheck. But Nusret wasn't the type to worry about his paycheck. Nusret wanted one thing and one thing only: fame. He wanted to become the Ash Ketchum of steaks. That is, the very best. He wanted his name in everyone's mouths, and he achieved just that by opening his first restaurant named after himself. The restaurant itself was delicious, offering customers delicious food and the spectacle to match the price tag. It was a common sight, seeing Nusret himself come out with a shirt 2 sizes too small and butcher your steak right beside your table. But of course, it wasn't the slicing that gave Nusret his beloved nickname. It's what comes after: meme culture. In 2017, Nusret would upload his now iconic Salt Bae video, where he would season his freshly cut steak with salt in the most flamboyant and probably least sanitary way possible, by letting the salt bounce from his elbow and down to his food. Sanitary or not, there was definitely something sexy about Nusret's allure.
Oh, God, what I wouldn't do to that. What? No, it's not even mine. I just clicked on it.
What with the muscle-fit white tee, sunglasses, and well-maintained goatee, this video made Salt sexy and earned Nusret the moniker Salt Bae. With over 16 million views on his original video, Salt Bae took this as the opportunity to strike while the iron was hot. Salt Bae embraced his newfound fame and backed it up with all the flair that he had been giving his customers all these years. Nusret began opening restaurants everywhere he could, reaching a total of 22 restaurants worldwide. But with that many restaurants worldwide, more people were beginning to discover something peculiar about the dishes. They weren't really that good. If you took away Salt Bae's persona and appeal, the steaks were nothing more than slabs of mildly seasoned meat that admittedly wasn't anything to write home about. And we're sad to report that no, salt bounced off Salt Bae's elbow did not taste any different from regular salt. It didn't take long for people to notice that the only reason people ate at Salt Bae's restaurants was so that they could say they ate at his restaurants. It made for good content for influencers and bragging rights for those who can afford the experience. And when we mean afford, we mean an arm and a limb. The problem with Salt Bae: ever since the start of Salt Bae's career, he's always been plagued by one huge problem: pricing. Salt Bae's first restaurant, the Nusret, was established as a modest company that made steaks accessible to everyone. But soon the pricing strategy changed. Bigger was better, and as long as people bought it, Nusret saw no reason to lower the prices. This is a problem that plagued all of these restaurants. Let's take for example one moment that went viral on the internet in 2021 that showed a restaurant bill worth $2,300. This wasn't uncommon for high-value meals like an omakase or wagyu, but here at Salt Bae's restaurants, even the common joys had their prices skewed. One of Salt Bae's infamous achievements is being crowned the worst restaurant in New York City, Salt Bae Burger, the restaurant that insists on selling milkshakes worth $99 and a wagyu beef burger wrapped in golden foil. It was starting to become more and more obvious that the price didn't match the quality of the food. It was only worth the gold foil wrapped around it. Salt Bae Burger, including a few of his other restaurants, have since been shut down. It turns out most people would rather spend that money on rent rather than a burger. But pricing wasn't the only thing plaguing his restaurants. Managerial problems. From the get-go, you could tell that Salt Bae was a man with a strong personality. So strong, in fact, that he'd often mentally and verbally abuse his employees to the point of breaking. That's right, the man famous for pouring salt on his elbow is also apparently the saltiest man on earth. It also wasn't uncommon for Salt Bae to start skimming tips from his waiting staff and taking it all for himself. And if that wasn't scummy enough, Salt Bae was also racist and sexist at the same time. His entire workforce would even describe the working conditions as Hunger Games of cooking, where everyone would be at each other's throat. Most recently, Salt Bae's even gone under fire for turning off the heating in his restaurants due to cost-cutting reasons, leaving most of his staff and his customers freezing. This during a year where he was estimated to earn millions of dollars in revenue. While Salt Bae has faced enough criticism and court rulings to make any man turn a new leaf, it seems Salt Bae is shielded by one big factor: his ego. Bubbling ego. If Kanye West were a chef, he would be Salt Bae. He saw the criticisms and attempts at canceling him as free advertisement for how crazy his restaurant dining experience is. I mean, why would he stop when he's been continuously rewarded by it? Influencers and other rich people keep coming back to his restaurants to splurge money, and he's more than happy to take it. In fact, Salt Bae is quite the splurger himself, recently earning the spotlight once again for posting a restaurant bill worth $108,000 as a way to brag about his daily earnings during a time when he was supposedly cost-cutting too. But all this came to a head during the 2022 World Cup, where Argentina and France were duking it out in one of the most intense World Cup finals to date, and somehow Salt Bae managed to make it all about himself. During the awarding ceremony where Team Argentina were receiving their awards, Salt Bae managed to weasel his way to the field and participate in photo ops with the players. Or should we say, the trophy itself. In disgusting fashion, Salt Bae was caught on camera multiple times trying to parade the award as his own. This was enough to turn the world sour against Salt Bae, with some events even banning him outright. It seems the world is slowly turning its back on him, but there's still a glimmer of hope. Salt Bae's future. Salt Bae's glimmer of hope can be found in his one constant: his ego. As much criticism as Salt Bae gets, the motivating force stays true. He won't stop as long as he's still earning money. If people are still gonna throw $100,000 at meals at his restaurant, then he's obviously gonna continue. Sure, some of his restaurants may shut down due to some overwhelming criticisms, but his other restaurants earn more than enough to keep his lavish lifestyle afloat. In fact, Salt Bae has even only recently opened up a new restaurant at the Istanbul airport, where it's projected to earn just as much as some of his other restaurants. Translation: the prices are still gonna be as egregiously high as possible. Only time will tell when all the cancellations and criticism Salt Bae faces will catch up to him. But for now, he'll continue to slap your steak, or a high price that is.